You're
It
right.
looked like it was live streaming then. Did you see that pop up?
We've done this before.
Have we?
Before. Yeah. It's not live streaming. It just says live uploading.
Right. Oh, right. Okay.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Just started it and went.
Yeah, because I saw live streaming. I thought, no, we're live streaming. Right. Hello. You're very welcome to the 13th episode of My Generate. Hello. You're very welcome to the 13th episode of My Generation Gap podcast, where you have me, Stuart Vincent Moore, a 50-year-old member of Generation X, talking stuff and nonsense for about 20 minutes or so before we then get down to talking about media, art, culture with my niece, 18-year-old Harriet Pilkington, a member of Generation Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Hi, Rach, how are you doing?
I'm good. I've been back at work the past couple of weeks, like really back at work, like busy.
Really back at work.
Really back at work. I'm foiling in my sleep.
Right, okay.
But I don't know if anybody else is going through what I'm going through. So, well, actually, I wrote this down to ask people about online, and this is about hay fever denial. I want to know if anybody else goes through hay fever denial, because I sound like this. That can't be right.
Nice.
And that can't be right. But then, actually, since writing this down to talk about, I realised I've actually most probably got COVID. So,
oh no,
because I lost my taste and everything. I thought, oh, that's not hay fever. So, actually, I don't think it is hay fever denial. So yeah, that is what I wanted to ask people. But I was on the way to work on, like I said, I've been busy. Last weekend, and my dad's been in not Barcelona, Mallorca.
Mallorca, on holiday.
Yeah, so his friends got a villa out there, so they were...
boys' holiday, is it?
It was a boys' holiday. He got there on the first day, and he was like, there's no milk, there's no bread, I can't have a coffee, because he was the first one up, as he always is.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're on a lad's holiday, Dad, enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I rang him one morning on my way to work, and I rang him on purpose to wake him up, if I'm honest. Because I thought that's something he'd do to me. So I thought he was really drunk the night before. I'll ring him. It was probably about 9 o'clock. I thought I'll ring him up. I'll wake him up. So I says, "Morning, Dad. You all right?" He says, "Yeah." I says, "All right, good." I says, "You all right?" He says, "Yeah, I'm on toilet." I was like, "Oh, lovely. Right, okay." I says, "Well, I'm just on my way to work." He went, "Yeah, me too. I was like, "What do you mean, you too?" And he was like, yeah, me too. I was like, "I thought you just said you were on the toilet." He was like, I'm at work. Oh, right. Dad, you're not at work. You're on the toilet. And he was like, "Oh, no, that's it. I've got the day off. I'm not at work." So I'm like in my car driving to work thinking, what is this conversation? So I kind of says to Mum, I said, "Is he all right?" You know what I mean? I'm thinking, is he had a stroke or something serious happened? She went,
like
"No, he
TIA.
does." Yeah. She went, "No, he does this." She says he once got up on holiday and walked into a wall thinking it was the ensuite because he can't adjust. So I knew he was all right. She said he'll call back in 10 minutes. But anyway, the conversation carried on, and I was like, he says, "Oh no, I've got the day off work. I'm at home. And then he says, I've let the dogs out. I'm like, all right, great. I'll see you later. So he clearly had a good time.
Okay.
But yeah.
You have to be careful sat in the toilet for too long when you get to a certain age, after a certain age, because I've realised that the poodle gives me piles.
The poodle gives you piles?
Yeah. Bearing in mind, the poodle is what I call it when I do the Wordle on the toilet.
Yeah, do the Wordle on the toilet. I've got a game which is just Wordles, like, continuously, and I'm really good at it now.
I got Wordling 2 today.
Did you? I'm strangely just weird at guessing what it is, like, really early on and just getting it right most of the time.
Have you done it today? Shall I tell you what it is today?
No, go on, tell me what it is.
No, because then you'll get it in one.
Exactly. That's how I do it.
Well, you just
Just ask people.
just ask, oh, have you done Wordle yet? It's like, yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And you write it down and do it at 1 minute to
Yeah.
midnight.
But whilst my dad's been away, my boyfriend's been for a tattoo. Sorry about
Oh.
my nose, everybody. I'm gonna be sniffling. He went for a tattoo, so he likes all the Nordic mythology, Viking stuff. So he went for his sleeve doing. So his mum booked him for Christmas a full day appointment. So like 7 hours ish of just constant tattooing. So he was
7
like,
hours?
yeah, that's like a day appointment, isn't it? If you think about it, if you're working like,
Well, is that how long it takes to do a tattoo?
well, he was having a full sleeve done.
It's
So
just drawing, isn't it?
well, I suppose. Well, this is what's funny about it, right? So he said the guy puts on kind of a template on his forearm, on the inside of his forearm. Bear in mind, he kind of wanted his full arm doing. He'd kind of designed it all and everything else. But the guy said, "Oh, we'll start doing this side of it, and then I'll match it up on the other side. If I do it all as one big loop." He says it won't look right. I'll have to do it in 2 separate loops. I don't really understand it, but whatever. So he did basically half of the sleeve, and then he went, "I've got to go," and it was only about an hour and a half into it. So he's got this half finished tattoo on his arm, but you wouldn't know it was half finished, but he knows. So he's not happy.
Wow.
So yeah.
7 hours.
Yeah.
I don't think I could be bothered.
No, I don't think I could be bothered.
I'll tell you what.
How's your week been?
I'll tell you what the highlight of my week has been this week, H.
Go on.
Seeing Jarvis Cocker.
Seeing who?
Jarvis Cocker.
Who's that?
Pulp.
Oh.
Jarvis
like,
Cocker. Yeah, my next door neighbour. No, we went to see Pulp in Birmingham. And I think if it's not the best, it's top 3 gigs ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'd never seen Pulp before. I'd missed them at Glasgow, missed them at all sorts of festivals, never got the chance to see them. And then, caught them on this new album tour.
Was it good? You've got a cat on you.
I've got a cat on me.
Was it good new album stuff, or was it kind of like not good new album stuff though?
Well, I hadn't heard the new album prior. I hadn't been listening to it, but it was good. Actually, the songs from it were good. But so it was a real good mixture of new stuff, good new stuff, and some of the old favourites. Really, really good.
Well, I tell you, I can't concentrate.
Well, because I've got cats.
Because you've got a cat in your head.
Yeah.
Do you know who's come up loads in the past week? Is I don't know how problematic. I never know how problematic artists are anymore. Jamiroquai.
Jamie Roke.
Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
Problematic or not problematic?
I don't know why.
I don't think so. I haven't heard any scandal, but I just know sometimes there's scandal with musicians within that era, but clearly not. Anyway, somebody I've heard of a lot this week is Jamiroquai. So apparently he was brought out at the Dua Lipa concert, and everybody, literally the audience, audibly goes, "Oh!"
Why?
As he walks in. Else. Yeah, they thought it was going to be like somebody really modern, like Charlie XCX or I don't know, Lord or something alongside Dua Lipa.
He's a 50-year-old man.
Yeah, and it's just Jamiroquai. Everybody goes, "Oh!" You can hear it in the whole 70,000 people.
Oh.
So that was.
It's gonna burst your ego.
Yeah, but then all the comments on the video are like, "How can you not like Jamiroquai? Like you'd be cheering to see him. Like the music he's done." And I'm thinking, what music has he done? I know the band. I know the song. I know the name, but I couldn't think of the songs. And then I looked him up and I thought, oh yeah, I know him. And then I was finishing off the Napoleon Dynamite movie tonight, and it's one of them's in Napoleon Dynamite. It's the song that he dances to at the end. That's a Jamiroquai song, and I was like, oh yeah. I understand it now.
Very good. Yeah. Anything else? H, or should we talk about what we're here to talk about?
I think we're ready to talk about Napoleon Dynamite on that.
Oof, that was only 10 minutes, wasn't it? I'm mucking about.
concise.
That's good, isn't it? Oh, we've just had really quiet weeks.
Well, I don't know if it was that. Well, I'd had stuff to kind of talk about for kind of the past 2 weeks, but because I'd kind of rehearsed it already in my head and had these conversations with people, I was ready and on point.
Right. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about, because we're here to talk about one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Which is actually Gen Z week. This week's Gen Z.
It is Gen Z, and it is a Gen Z film, because when we talked about what was Gen Z and what was Gen X,
yeah,
we set ourselves a cut-off point, didn't we, of
we did.
Pre-2000 and post-2000.
Yes.
And Napoleon Dynamite is post-2000. It was made in 2004, and it's set in 2004, but
yeah,
it deliberately uses old technology in there. I mean, they're using like cassette Walkmans and VHS.
It gives
things
it
like
an 80s, 90s feel, doesn't it? I think because, like you said, they've done certain things, use certain music. All right, maybe not Jamiroquai, but like in the school dance and stuff.
Well, I think they've done that just to show that they're in like small town America, to give it a bit of a quaint feel, and just to show where they are. They're not in some cosmopolitan area of the country. They're not in New York or California.
Yeah.
Now, there's a really good speech in Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
And it's things about Napoleon Dynamite is no matter how many times I watch it, and even if I just watch the end bit in isolation, the speech and then the dance and the end 5 minutes, it always makes me cry.
It always makes you cry?
Yeah, I can't not cry at it.
Really?
Because it's just such a beautiful piece of film.
Yeah.
Anyway, this speech, I think, is a good introduction to Napoleon Dynamite. And this is the speech that Pedro gives when he's running for class president. I don't have much to say, but I think it would be good to have some holy Santos brought to the high school to guard the hallway and to bring us good luck. El Santo Nino de Atocha is a good un. My Aunt Concha has seen him. And we have a great FFA schedule lined up, and I'd like to see more of that. If you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true. Thank you. So that's good, isn't it?
That's good, isn't it? Are you going to do the dance now? You rehearsed the whole Napoleon Dynamite dance?
I would love to be able to do that dance from Napoleon Dynamite.
Everyone would love to do the dance from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, right. So I'll summarise Napoleon Dynamite because I love it so much.
Yeah.
So Napoleon Dynamite is set in Preston, Idaho, which is a small town in the middle. I always remember that because it's the state where Scooby-Doo's from.
Didn't know there was a state where Scooby-Doo was from.
Yeah, because ask me where Scooby-Doo's from.
Where's Scooby-Doo from?
I don't know. And
I thought you were just going to say Preston.
And it just follows Napoleon Dynamite, who is a 16-year-old high school child navigating his way through life. He's a bit alienated from the rest of his peers. He's a little bit geeky. He doesn't have many friends. I think he struggles in understanding how to make friends. And it's just showing him building a relationship with two great friends, Pedro and Deb, and building a great friendship and how that happens throughout the film. And he meets all sorts of people along the way. His Uncle Rico is a bit of a baddie, and but it truly is. I think it's one of the great comedy films of all time. And we did say, didn't we? Because we tried to do this in one of the early episodes. we'd
Yep.
said we'd try and stay away from picking
We did.
comedy films because you end up not looking at a film or TV program from a comedy point of view and kind of
Yep.
picking it apart and finding funny bits in it because
You just
it's
enjoy
already
it.
it's already and it's
Yeah.
already funny. You end up just repeating lines from it. Oh,
Yeah.
that bit was really funny, but that movie was really funny, didn't it?
Yeah, we did that, didn't we, at the start? There was a couple of things where, well, originally we actually looked at looking into music and things like that, and it was the same kind of thing. We found ourselves just repeating things over and over and over.
Well, yeah. Do
And
you
I
remember
think comedy's hard.
we watched an episode of The Young Ones, didn't we? And we just ended up repeating all the
Yeah.
lines from The Young Ones.
We just spent about an hour repeating the same lines. Yeah.
And I'm worried that we're going to do that with Napoleon Dynamite because it's such a
Maybe.
quotable film. There's so
At
many
least we're
lines in
self-aware.
Napoleon. Yeah, there's so many lines in Napoleon Dynamite that are
Yeah.
magical and very, very funny. And I use them
Yeah.
in everyday speech. But I'd be really interested to hear your opinion of it,
Yeah.
H. What did you think?
Well, I think I found it quite a hard film to follow because of how it was laid out, to be honest. My brain doesn't work with the kind of, like the springing back and forwards really quickly between like different stuff.
Well, it's because there's no plot.
Yeah, that's what I found hard about it. It was the purposeful kind of chaotic vibe. That kind of, not chaotic. I can't think of the word, like misordered and jumbled up.
Yeah.
I found it a little bit difficult to follow. I think I followed most of it. I did find that made it funnier in the fact that things just spring up when you don't expect them to. But this might be because I watched it at 4 times speed. No, I'm joking.
Stop watching things at 4 times speed. It's not watching it. How many times do I have to tell you? You're not watching it.
Watching it at 4 times speed. But yeah, I did find that stuff kind of springs up like, oh, that drawing that he did of, was it Trish?
Yeah.
That's one of the funniest because I was expecting it to actually be good. I still held out hope. Even though you're like halfway into the film, I thought, this is going to be spectacular. Even when he started drawing it, I thought, yeah.
Well, that's a scene in it where he wants to ask somebody out to the prom, and his friend Pedro suggests that he draw a picture of somebody he'd like to ask out to the prom and give it to them as a gift, so that then they would agree to go to the prom with them. So yeah, he drew a picture of Trish from the yearbook, which was a very, very funny drawing. It
was a very, very funny drawing.
But I think that's the thing with Napoleon Dynamite. It's because he's convinced, isn't he, to have friends and to get a girlfriend.
Yeah,
he must have skills, because that's what he says. Girls like boys with skills. You've got to have good skills. So he's always like lying about what skills he has and what he's been doing to try and big him up, because you do that, don't you, to be impressive. Like he's got that picture of that model in his wallet and everybody used to do that. Oh yeah, no, I've got a girlfriend you don't know, and she went to another school. Yeah. I found it really funny when Pedro's like, yeah, but what skills have I got, when they're going for when they're doing the vote for Pedro bit. And he's like, yeah, but what skills have I got? And he's like, well, you've got a really cool bike and you've got a mustache. Yeah. And you're a wow with the chicks.
That was it. Yeah.
But I think that's the beauty of the friendship that he finds, because again, and it is like the Breakfast Club, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning where he doesn't have friends and he lies about, you know, when the bigger boys come up to him in the corridor and say, what were you doing last summer? And he said, I told you I was hunting wolverines in Alaska with my uncle. So then they get him in a headlock and beat him up.
Yeah.
And he comes out with all these outlandish lies to sound cool.
Yeah.
But when he gets his friend, his best mate, Pedro, and he's just himself and he's just true, and it's a beautiful friendship, I think, between the two of them. So did you have any other opinions? Did you actually like it?
I don't think I'd go back and watch it again, but I'm glad I watched it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So do you know what we didn't do last week, H? We didn't give Breakfast Club a Generation Z or a Generation X win.
I would allow it as a Gen X win.
Yeah. So
If you'd
what would you
agree.
say about Napoleon Dynamite?
I would give it a Gen Z win, but I do think there are better films out there. Have I broken you?
Right, name 2.
Name 2. All right, Scooby Doo and
Can't do it.
damn. Damn.
Do you know what? Even I could have done that. Did you say Truman Show?
I've never watched it.
Oh, right. Well, we're gonna have to do Truman Show now.
Yeah. I can't think of another film. Why is it when I'm put on the spot? I can't think of anything. It's like the quiz; it just goes. Just think of any movie, and I'm like, I can't.
That's because I don't think you've actually truly watched the film because you watch everything at 4 times speed.
Yeah, I've
And
never
Napoleon
actually...
Dynamite is, I think it might be a perfect film. There's not a wasted minute in there. Everything in there is either character building or a joke.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true. I will.
So there isn't
I will accept
anything.
that.
Yeah, there's nothing wasted in that film, and it tells a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Of friendship, coming of age, and it's about 90 minutes, which is perfect.
It is really. It is the perfect length for a film. 90 seconds also works.
If you watch it
10 times speed. Not that I think there's 10 seconds in a minute. I'm not saying that.
So the thing with Napoleon Dynamite, I know I summarised it really basically, but essentially, him and his brother live with their grandma, don't they?
They do.
And their pet llama.
Oh my god, I was not expecting it to be a llama. When he went outside and,
And his older brother's just at home, even, he's left school and he's supposed to be an adult, but he's more childish than Napoleon Dynamite.
He's always on his laptop chatting to people online.
Chatting to chicks online,
yeah.
And, their grandma has an accident. So their uncle, she falls off a dune buggy, doesn't she, in the dunes?
With her boyfriend.
Yeah.
That they don't know about.
Yeah, she's wild, isn't she? Their grandma like her. And so their Uncle Rico has to come and look after them. Yeah. But the thing is that they're adults. Yeah. Napoleon Dynamite's 16 and his brother's
like in his 30s. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Uncle Rico comes to look after them. And Uncle Rico is in
fact, he's just another child, really.
He is just another child, and he's somebody that, again, is very much like a grown-up Napoleon Dynamite, although he's not geeky, but, he always talks about how great he was in the 1980s, and if he'd had just made, turned professional in his NFL career in 1982, or he says if he'd made state in 1982, he would have been a professional NFL player, and his whole life would have been different. So, he buys like time machines to send him back in time. Yeah. He's just always practicing throwing an American football, and does all these things to big himself up, just like Napoleon Dynamite does.
Yeah.
And again, the time when he does drop all that facade, then his ex-girlfriend comes back looking for him. And, and it's all good, isn't it? But while he's doing all these things, and he's ruining Napoleon Dynamite's life because he ends up interfering with
his relationship.
So Napoleon Dynamite ends up getting a friend,
building relationship
with his best friend Pedro, who's a new boy at school, and a girl called Deb, who he likes, but of course he doesn't say that he likes, but she obviously likes him, and she wants to be his friend, and they're starting to become friends.
Yeah.
And their Uncle Rico comes along and gives her a flyer for some herbal
Yeah.
supplement for
Breast
breast
enhancements.
enhancements.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, Napoleon said that you could do with these." And she
Yeah.
was like,
Well, yeah, what do you mean? Yeah.
"Yeah, what do you mean?" And so, yeah, she calls him up, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And says, "You're a shallow friend, and this
Yeah.
isn't all right." And he was like, and then of course he goes out to say Uncle Rico.
Yeah. I like the
Grandma says
ending.
you've got, yeah, Grandma
Sorry, go
says
on.
you've got to leave because she's sick and tired of you ruining
Yeah.
everybody's life and eating all our steak.
Yeah. I like the ending where Napoleon and Debs are kind of playing that ball game. What is that called, though?
I don't know what they call
Is
it.
it a game?
Well, it's something they're playing in the States, isn't it? I don't know what it is.
Is it? Well, it
Well, it's like
reminds me
swing
of.
ball. It's like swing ball, but instead of a tennis ball, it's
Yeah.
like a footy.
Is swing ball the tennis one?
Yeah,
So did you have them in the 80s?
Yeah, swing ball. You did, yeah, with a tennis
Did
racket
you?
and a tennis ball. Yeah,
Because I always remember them from my childhood, and I didn't know if they were kind of a 2000s thing or an 80s thing or even earlier. Because we
no,
had these
80s
kind
thing.
of like, the bottom of it was obviously water filled, so it didn't topple over.
Oh yeah,
And you used to have obviously the tennis ball in it, and it used to do this stupid thing where you'd hit the tennis ball and it'd wrap all the way around it like that, and then
Yeah.
you'd have to unwrap it.
yeah,
It reminded me of that.
yeah. But I think the whole film builds its way up to, because Napoleon Dynamite is always talking about his skills, and he has got real skills because he's part of the Future Farmers of America, and he can, he's tasting those milks, and he can tell like when the cow
it had been in the onions or whatever.
Yeah, this milk is from a cow that had escaped onto an onion patch.
Yeah.
And they were like, yep.
Yeah.
So, he has got skills, but of course he's always talking about his skills of drawing ligers and being in a gang and doing all these kind of things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the film, and of course, he falls out with, or Deb falls out with him, and then Pedro sees. So Pedro is up for class president against Summer Wheatley, who is the all-popular head of the cheerleading squad. And they do this cheerleading skit, and she does her speech, which is really vapid.
Yeah, I love the bit where Pedro grabs the vote for... I've forgotten the name already, you've just said it.
Summer Wheatley.
Yeah, vote for Summer badge. And he just goes, can I have one of them? And he goes, yeah. And then he takes it off him, and he just goes, and he throws it down the corridor and then just runs off.
Yeah. So, I think those last 10, 15 minutes of the film where you have Summer Wheatley come on, give a speech where she doesn't really say anything. It's all vapid. And then they do their cheerleading routine with her and her friends, which is, it was good and it was great, but
but isn't that what he did at the start? Because wasn't it sign language that she was doing in a way? Didn't she incorporate sign language? Isn't that what Napoleon was doing at the start of the film?
Yeah,
that they made fun of him for. Yeah, and then she did it at the end of the film.
Yeah. And then Pedro is like, well, I'll give my speech. I don't know what I'm going to say. And Napoleon says, "Oh, just tell him that you make the wildest dreams come true." So he does, and then of course Napoleon comes out, and he has been practicing dancing, and it's dancing as a symbolic act of completely removing all your inhibitions, removing all feelings of self-consciousness, being completely vulnerable, and doing that for your friend. He's put himself completely out there on the line, no questions asked for his friend, and that's how Deb sees him, and then her feelings for him kind of change again, and she realizes that he's not a shallow friend. He is a great person, and then that standing ovation is absolutely beautiful, and it does make me cry.
Is that the bit that makes you cry? Yeah, I was about to say.
The whole thing, just watching him dance, just makes me cry, and the standing ovation makes me cry, and then Deb coming to find him at the end to play in the playground makes me cry. And
But did he break that hard that he broke a window?
he didn't dance that hard that he broke a window, no.
Did I just say break that hard that he...
You did.
No, I just said then. Right, well, you know what I meant.
Yeah. But then even the dancing, because you have the cheerleader troupe, which, you know, they're very talented, very skilled and athletic, and they do their routine. It's all very practiced. But it's a difference you see. You know, a few years ago, me and Caroline went to Madrid.
Yeah.
And while we were in Madrid, we went to a flamenco bar.
Yeah.
Where you just drunk sherry and watched flamenco dancers dance a flamenco. Right. And it was so kind of charged and powerful. And it was amazing to watch. It was really, really kind of emotional and beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
But just full of, power. And then when you watch the same dance he's done on like Strictly Come Dancing,
don't feel the same.
No, because they're always talking about, oh, your shoulder was dipped there, and your oh, you didn't bounce, you know, you weren't getting your height there. The technicalities. You think it's not about that. You've taken all the passion, all the heart, all the expressiveness,
any
out
character,
of this, any character, out
individuality,
out of this expressive art form, and just turned it into nonsense.
Yeah,
and that's the difference between Summer Wheatley and Napoleon Dynamite.
That's the difference. It's Strictly Come Dancing in a flamenco bar in Madrid.
well, yeah. Of any art form that's, you know, you do anything that's full of passion and life.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have anything else to say about Napoleon Dynamite?
Not really. I think kind of those were the funniest bits for me.
Do you have anything negative to say about it?
And the only thing negative I had was how sporadic it was, with the different scenes and things. I found it a little bit hard to follow.
I think that's probably because, although there is a coherent story along with
it is chronological.
Yeah, and the plot is sort of loose, but it is also like a sequence of set pieces, I think. Yeah,
I get what you mean. And I think that is just unusual. You don't see it done a lot. So it isn't necessarily negative about the film. It's just that when you see something not a lot in media, sometimes it's harder to kind of process as you're watching it, I think.
Or maybe you're watching the wrong type of films.
Yeah, possibly. Very possible. Or I'm not watching them at all.
Or you're watching the right type of films, but you're watching them at 4 times speed.
At 4 times speed. There's a thing that they do on TikTok. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I don't know why I feel like I have. In the fact that what they do is they take clips, probably very illegally, and they post them on, say, TikTok. And it's just a clip from a film, but it's usually like the juiciest part of the film or kind of going up to a really juicy part in the film. And it's say a minute long, and then they go, look at my profile for part 2, and then you go, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then you look for part 2, just because you want to get to the end of the of this, like, of the hype. You want to see what's about to go on. You don't want to watch the whole film. You just show me this bit, the big bit that happens, and that's it. And then you don't have to watch the film. But you don't need context because most modern films are that basic that you don't really need any context. You just know. It's like, yeah. So I feel like that's kind of ruined my attention span a little bit.
Right. Okay. Well, it's time for this. Unbelievable.
Every week.
It's on silent. Right.
I love that. What's Ace?
Commission Music Podcast.
Oh, stupid.
Oh, no.
He's eating a burger and he's marking it out of 5. This week, H, I've gone to a different country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Purely for the burger review.
No, I just happened
That's
to be
commitment.
I just happened to be in a different country.
Yeah, I know.
So this was Fat Hippo.
Sorry, what?
Fat Hippo.
Fat hippo, huh?
Yeah.
That's
There's
a terrible
actually
name for a burger. Imagine if you were a regular there.
there's a fat hippo. There's a Fat Hippo in Nottingham. Actually, there's one in Leeds.
All right, okay.
Anyway, Fat Hippo, Cardiff.
Yep.
I had the Born Slippy burger.
The Born Slippy burger.
Yeah.
That sounds ace.
Yeah, well, it had like jalapenos in it. It had like hot honey in it.
Isn't Born
Had
Slippy that song that's like,
from Trainspotting?
Yeah.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, well,
It's a good job you knew what I was on about then. All I had to say was, that's that song that's like, that's all I had to add then.
Yeah, that's that song that I saw. I watched. I was watching a film, 4 times speed, and that's that song. And I've listened to 30 seconds of that song. What's it called again?
It actually just went, and it was done.
Yeah, but I think I really liked it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fat Hippo, Cardiff, Born Slippy Burger, 3.8.
3.8, decent, very decent.
Yeah, it was because it's a good burger. But I think, you know what, ultimately, it should have been better.
What was on it again?
Well, it had, again, I think all the components of it was great. So this was, I was actually at a work event. So there was a few colleagues there as well. And they sort of agreed with me about this.
Did you explain to them about the burger review?
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we went for a burger. So, I can't remember what was on it now, but it had like pulled pork on it. It had jalapenos, it's hot honey.
Was it kind of
and
sweet?
all those were really nice. Yeah, it was sweet, but it was really great. And then my mate, who's my mate at work, who has got 5 out of 5 on the test twice, H.
Oh, twice.
Yeah.
He can't have 3. He just can't.
So, and we sort of agreed that
Yeah.
all those side bits of the burger, all the kind of additives in it, were really great and they worked. But the burger itself was bland.
Meh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, was it a brioche bun? Like a nice seasoned brioche bun, or was it just a meh bun?
Yeah, the bun was fine. No, the bun was fine. It was like a brioche bun. It was fine. It wasn't bad. Right. It was fine. I think it was the actual patty itself, and I was
going to say, I'm confused. What else is there to the burger other than the filling in the bun?
Well, the actual meat itself, the actual burger itself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that should have been better seasoned or just been better. I don't know what it was. And normally that's not the way, is it? Normally the meat doesn't really make that much difference.
Yeah.
So I do wonder if they had a better patty in there.
Yeah.
That the burger would have elevated it really highly, I think. Yeah,
well, I think the thing is with the burgers as well is that like you said, if my mind's gone blank. With the burger as well, like you said, if something's missing, you notice it. If it's there, you don't. So, like, I suppose flavour missing from the burger, you're like, what? As in, you wouldn't normally notice it because, well, why would you?
Yeah, so when I was eating it, I thought, well, it doesn't need lightening up, it doesn't need crisping up, the sauces are right, it's not too cloying, it wasn't too dry, it wasn't too wet, it wasn't... All those kind of things were great, but then, I think it just needed a little bit of kick in the seasoning in the meat itself. So it might have been even better if I'd have had the vegan burger or the veggie burger. Yeah,
I suppose if you went for a different kind of meat, or non-meat, then possibly.
So not writing off Fat Hippo. It's good, and I've been to Fat Hippo before, and they've been great. You know, they're always a good. Yeah.
So it's pretty solid burgers.
Yeah. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Test. Woo woo woo. Test. Woo woo woo. Question 1. complete this sentence.
Oh,
Do the chickens have large...
I can't complete the sentence.
talons? Do the chickens have large talons?
No, I don't remember that bit.
When Napoleon Dynamite, when he gets that
Yeah, when he's
job
on the
in the...
when he's on the chicken farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't remember that phrase.
When he says to the chickens have large talons, and the two guys go, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's probably why I don't remember.
Right, okay.
Oh, so it's not going to be 5 out of 5 this week.
It's not going to be 5 out of 5, isn't it?
Your friend from work gets 5 out of 5.
No, I don't think he's a Napoleon Dynamite guy.
He'll still get 5 out of 5. He'll get more than me.
How far could Uncle Rico throw an American football in 1982?
These are so specific and unfair. 30 yards. No, that's not very far,
Quarter of a mile. He said in 1982 he could throw a pigskin a quarter of a mile.
Quarter of a mile.
And then he said, do you bet I can throw this American football over those mountains?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that bit. I didn't remember the...
And then that's when Napoleon Dynamite is coming back home with Pedro, and he throws that steak, and it's funny, Ed.
Oh, I love the bit with it. Oh, when he's on the bike and he just throws the steak at him. Yeah. Yes, I do remember that bit.
Okay. Complete this with the correct response. Napoleon, what are you going to do today?
I don't know, whatever I want to do. I can't think of the exact thing. I don't know, whatever I feel like doing.
Yeah, whatever I feel like. Gosh.
Yeah.
See, that's good, H. 1 for 3.
1 for 3.
Yeah. Name one thing. Question 4. Name one thing that ligers are bred for.
Magic. They're something in magic. They're skills in magic.
Yeah. And what snack did I eat whilst watching Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh. Any context?
Clue yeah, there's a clue in the film, H. I ate the same snack that Napoleon Dynamite ate in there. He snacked on this.
What did he eat? Oh, it's like I can think of it as well, but I can't. It's one of them where I can see him eating it, but I can't think what he's eating. Go on.
Well, I didn't eat tater tots, but I had hash browns.
Oh, yeah, the tater tots in his pocket.
Yeah.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, yeah. I think we're all done, H, apart from what you telling me.
Do you know, I've been watching really light-hearted stuff lately. I am just chilling my brain out a little bit from stress. So I'm not watching
chilling your brain out.
Not watching any dramas or anything in 4 times speed.
Your brain out. I've been getting WhatsApp pictures from your mum. Heads up, listener.
I know it's gonna be.
Harriet's mum is my sister.
Yeah.
And
sorry, your hair's gone all light. It's like you're wearing a hair crown.
It's because I realised that you'd gone all quiet, and I realised it's because my headphones have slipped off my head. So Harry's made some pictures because we're obviously got the same kind of head plumbing. And we both.
I'm glad I haven't got your 2 head plumbing.
We both suffer from migraines. And your mum's been getting really bad recently, hasn't she?
Oh God, yeah.
And she said to me, how do you fend off your migraines? What do you do?
Yeah.
And I said, when I feel them coming on, I cool my head down. I've got these ice packs. I put these ice packs in the freezer, and I get them out and I whack them on my head and I wrap them around my head.
This is literally chilling your head out.
Yeah. So then your mum got some, and she's sending me pictures of these ice packs strapped around her head. But they've been working for her.
Yeah, I think they have. I mean, my mum's migraines are horrible. Almost nothing works for her. They did find a tablet that worked for her. And then, get this right, she runs out of tablets. They give her something like 6 for a month, and she has probably 1 to 2 migraines a week, which is a lot. It can take up your whole kind of day or two.
Well, it's not just the
So
migraine, because you have your migraine.
the sickness, there's the before, there's the after.
Yeah,
it just wipes her out. Yeah.
I get like a post-migraine hangover. It's like being hungover.
Well, mum gets confusion.
Yeah.
She gets really confused, which was great when I was learning how to drive, and she was telling me to get in the left lane, meaning the right. Yeah, she gets really confused kind of beforehand, then the headache and sickness, and then afterwards, like a lot of frustration and that because she can't concentrate. If she concentrates on something, it gets worse. So if she gets like jobs or something that she's got to do, like a phone call, she just thinks, right, don't do it. I do believe they have been working better for her. But yeah, they gave her this tablet and she was like, it's a miracle. And she says, it's just like gone. Like she said,
Really?
it's genuinely. She says, I've never had anything. I mean, she takes ibuprofen, whatever, all the bloody painkillers I've got. She takes for the migraines, and they finally found this one that worked, and they gave her 6 tablets for a month, which if you're having like two migraines,
2 or 3 weeks,
and I think you need 2 tablets each
Oh,
time, that's like 3 migraines. That's
it's
a
like a
month.
week and a half. Yeah.
So she put in for more, and they went, "Oh no, we can't give you them because if you have too many, you'll get headache." She was like, so that was definitely not a fun conversation with the GP. Which,
well, listen, H, I'm going to tell you what TV I've been watching.
Go on.
Because it's TV gold.
Oh, do you know what? I've been told all about it. Mum and Dad love it.
Oh, hang on. What do you think I'm talking about? Because I can almost guarantee it's not the same thing. What are you talking about?
It's Gold. There's a new show called Gold.
Oh, is there? Well, it's not that.
You're on about, you said TV Gold. So I thought you were on about Gold.
No, what's that?
It's a new show. It's a new drama series about one of the, I think at the time it was the biggest bank robbery in England. It's called Gold.
Brinksmat.
What?
Robbery. Is it the Brinksmat thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no, it's not that.
Cool.
This is TV Gold, H.
Right.
It's on ITV.
Yeah.
And this is how good it is, H, because I never watch ITV. Because usually there's never anything on ITV worth watching. But this has made me watch ITV.
Go on.
And it is Noel Edmonds' Kiwi Adventure.
Noel Edmonds' Kiwi Adventure.
It follows Noel Edmonds, who a few years ago, he moved to New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it's like a reality TV show filming him and his wife setting up this pub and this spa and vineyard in New Zealand. And it is more Alan Partridge than Alan Partridge.
Right.
I've watched the first episode and half of the second episode. There's only 4 episodes each, but I'm going to watch them and watch them and watch them. It's comedy gold.
What kind of comedy is it? Like, is there a favourite moment of yours?
No, it's just all ridiculous. It's just Noel Edmonds. Noel Edmonds being a real life Alan Partridge. It's well, do you know what? I'm gonna watch it. I am gonna watch it again and again.
Right,
and
we need a review then when you finish it.
I'll do a proper review. Of it. We'll just one episode. We'll do. Do you know what we're gonna do next? Because I think Truman Show was filmed just before 2000. So
shall I have a look?
Have a quick look. We're going to do the Truman Show. And when we do that...
Yes, I do believe it's 98. So the Truman Show works.
So next episode is going to be Truman Show. And we will do an in-depth review of Noel Edmonds' Kiwi Adventure.
Fab.
Right, well, I think we're all done.
Yeah.
H, how do people get in touch with us?
They can email us at mygenerationgap@gmail.com. I nearly forgot then. They can contact us on Instagram, My Generation Gap. We have a TikTok page. Which is My Generation Gap. Or if you know either of us personally, just come and chat to us or message us.
Yeah, perfect. Right. Thanks, H. Well done, listener. Thank you very much if you made it this far.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far, then get your phone out of your pocket or...
Have you listened to it in 4 times speed?
Get your phone out of your pocket or park up in a lay-by if you're driving. Get your phone out, hit follow, subscribe, whatever you need to do to make sure you automatically download the next episode, because it is going to be the Truman Show, and it's going to be an in-depth review of Noel Edmonds' Kiwi Adventure. Right. Night-night. Love you.
Night-night. Love you.